Hello, my name is Maya Yasin. My role number is 8. The topic of my presentation is what is research project. I discussed its general introduction, and then we discussed how we can write a good research project. So I discussed its first four parts. Starting from research project, what is research project? Research project means a discrete scientific endeavor to answer a research question or a set of research questions. A research project must include a description of defined protocol, clearly articulated goals, defined methods and outputs, and a defined start and end date. Now we discuss what is the purpose of research project. So the main purpose of a good research project is to find at least one solution to a real problem. Now we discussed how we can write a research project. So writing up your research project should include abstract, introduction, literature review, methodology, result, discussion, conclusion, and working with your supervisor. So starting from abstract, what is abstract? The abstract is briefly summary to help new reader to understand the purpose and content of the document in much the same way as you would read the abstract of journal article to help decide whether it was relevant to your work. The main function of the abstract is to describe and summarize the contents of the dissertation rather than making critical statements about the project. Now we discussed in which style we adopt to write the abstract. So style of writing should use in the abstract. One of the best ways to find the right voice for the abstract is to look at other examples either from dissertation in your field or study or from journal articles. Look out for examples that you feel communicate complex ideas in a simple and accessible way. Your abstract should be clear and understandable to a non-specialist, so word specialist vocabulary as far as possible, and use simple sentence structures over longer, more complex constructions. Now we discussed introduction. What should the introduction include? So your information should cover the following points: provide context and set the scene for your research project using literature where necessary, explain the rationale and value of the project, provide definitions and address general limitations in the literature that have influenced the topics or scope of your project, present your research aims and objectives, which may also be paraphrased at the research problem or questions. Now we discussed what is the difference between research aim and research objectives. So research aim is a mission statement that states the main ambition of your project. In other words, what does your research project hope to achieve? You may also express this as the big questions that derives your project or the research problem that your dissertation will aim to address or solve. So research objectives and questions are the same things, that only difference is how they are written. The objectives are the specific tasks that you will need to complete, the stepping stone that will enable you to achieve your overall research aim. We discussed about the literature review. Literature review establishes familiarity with an understanding of a current research in particular field. Before carrying out a new investigation, conducting a literature review should enable you to find out what research has already been done and identify what is unknown within your topic. Now we discussed about methodology. What is the purpose of the methodology section? The methodology outlines the procedure and process of your data collection. You should therefore provide enough detail so that a reader could replicate or adapt your methodology in their own research. Two of the key questions you should aim to answer in this section are: why did you select the methods you used? How do these methods answer your research questions? Now we take a general review between methodology, research design, and methods. So methodology, your choice of methodology will be grounded in a discipline specific theory about how research should be proceeded, as it's qualitative or qualitative. This overreaching decision will help to provide rationale for the specific methods you go on to use. Next, research design and explanation of the approach that you have chosen and the type of data you will collect. For example, case study or action research, will the data you collect be quantitative, qualitative, or mix of both? Then methods, the concrete research tools used to collect and analyze data, questionnaires, in a person surveys and observations. Now we discussed what should I include in the methodology section. First is research paradigm, next methodology, research design, methods, participant data surveys, data sources, procedures, limitations. So research paradigm, what is the underpinning philosophy of your research? How does this align with your research aim and objectives? Then methodology, qualitative or quantitative, mixed, what are the advantages of your chosen methodology and why were the other options discounted? Research design, show how your research design is influenced by the studies in your field and justify your choice of approach. Then methods, what method did we use, why we use it, do these naturally fit together? Data sources, what were your sources, who were your participants, which sampling approach did you use and why, how were they identified as a suitable group to research, and how were they recruited. Next is procedure. What did you do to collect your data? Remember, a reader should be able to replicate or adapt your methodology in their own research from the information you provide here. Then last is limitation. What are the general limitations of your chosen method? Don't be specific here about your project. That is what you could have done differently. But instead focus on what the literature outlines as the disadvantages of your methods. So this is all from my side. Thank you.